Hey there everybody, this is Evan Rogers coming at you with an exciting, slightly different non-JLPT video. We are interrupting the JLPT videos just a little bit to talk about the, what do you call these? The te-imas form, the te-iru form of the verb, and how it doesn't always just mean currently doing. Does that make sense? Like 9 times out of 10 when you say te-imas, what does it mean? Or you ask that question, the response is, it means you're currently doing something. That's not 100% true. Frequently it does mean that, but not always. And here is an example practice from a textbook I was teaching out of that I decided to basically just copy and change all of the names, or not all of them, but most of them, and the times and a few other things so that I couldn't be sued for plagiarism, which I technically am doing, but, you know, what's a bit of plagiarism between friends? Alright, there we go. Sorry, the entire thing was off-center. I have to edit that out. Anyway, we have Nabeshima-san wa juji ni nemashita. So nemashita is to fall asleep, has fallen asleep. The mashita ending is it's done. So notice how this kind of translates to she fell asleep at that time. Juji ni is the time at which the falling asleep took place. The ni particle tells us the time. And the name of the person is Nabeshima-san. And the wa particle tells us we are only talking about her. The stuff that comes after the wa particle is important, and it is limited to Nabeshima. Alright, so Nabeshima-san. Excuse me, Nabeshima-san. I did not mean to call you anything but san. Alright, so the ni particle on the response side is being turned into a kara. Does that make sense? We have a ni over here, and then over here we have a kara. And then we have netemas. So if netemas were to be translated as be currently doing, I mean, the sentence isn't really wrong, but it would be Nabeshima-san is sleeping from 10 o'clock. She is currently sleeping from 10 o'clock. That's not wrong, but it sure does sound weird in English, and it almost sounds like something we're not trying to say. Nabeshima-san is sleeping from 10 o'clock. It almost sounds like it might be happening in the future. Does that make... do you understand? But if we force ourselves to think about the sentence in just currently doing, we get she is asleep since 10 o'clock. And that's not wrong, but it just something about it doesn't sound right. So I want to talk about how this sometimes is best translated as has been doing a verb. And it currently is taking place up until now. So has done, has been doing. So Nabeshima-san wa juji kara netemasu. She has been sleeping, and then we translate kara as since 10 o'clock. She has been sleeping since 10 o'clock. Hopefully that helps you make some sense out of it. Has been sleeping. So while she is currently asleep, this isn't quite, exactly what we're going for. And by the way, for those of you, I'm going to put these up at the $10 subscription level because it's something that I made, and it'll be a reward on Patreon and Subscribe Star at $10 a month, which is kind of pricey, but then again, it's here for free. But if you want to practice this stuff on your own, look it up, print it off, take some time looking at it, you can always do that. So then these are the practice things. I did the answers because I wanted to illustrate how this works. So we have 私は Eban-sanを3年前に知りました. Okay, so this is interesting because it sounds like I've known him for 3 years, but that's not really what's happening. We have 私は Eban-sanを. So notice how the O particle goes with shirimasu. So shirimashita, past tense of to know something. And then 3年前に. So really quickly, this is interesting to have to deal with in English. Notice how shirimasu almost translates to got to know him, or I met him, or I have, now notice this isn't a continuous. This is not I have known him, because that would be down here with the shiteimasu. This is much more the I got to know him. So it's interesting to show how the answer, 私は Eban-san を it says 2年前. Okay, let me change that. I don't know why. This can't handle it. Okay, there we go. Boom. Now let's change this. Sorry, I didn't double check the kanji hiragana. Alright, there we go. 私は Eban-san を3年前に知りました. So I knew him at 3 years ago. Sounds very strange. 私は Eban-san o 3年前から知ってます. So this one sounds much better. We changed the ni to a kara and the shirimashita to a shitemasu. It turns out that this sentence says, I have known Evan. So the subject is watashi wa, as for me. Eban-san o shitemasu. I have known Evan 3年前から since 3 years ago. I have known Evan since 3 years ago, aka I have known him for 3 years. So because this one is best translated as has known or have known, this kind of forces shirimashita to mean I got to know him, or I met him, or I first knew him. Something to that effect. So notice how shirimasu, while it's translated as to know in most dictionaries, it's not quite to actually know something. It's more like to get to know something or to first comprehend something. Okay? So notice this strange... Notice how the grammar forces the meaning of shirimasu to change. And maybe we shouldn't say the grammar is, but our understanding of what te-imasu means forces us to reevaluate what shiru actually does mean. Hopefully that makes sense. That's kind of what I've been trying to say. Notice how this defines shirimasu. Well, shirimashita. All right, number 2. We got 西川さんは45分前にお風呂に入りました。So Nishikawa-san is who we're talking about, and 45 minutes ago, 45分前に, at the time of 45 minutes before. The 45 is 45, hun is the counter for minutes, and mai means before now. The mai is before ni. Ofuro, the bath, ni, and that's what you're going into. Notice that we have 2 ni particles. That can definitely happen. Hairimashita, entered. So somebody named Nishikawa entered the bath 45 minutes ago. So if they did enter the bath 45 minutes ago, well then, they have been in the bath for 45 minutes, or since 45 minutes ago. Nishikawa-san wa 45分前から, there's the kara, お風呂に入ってます. So notice, this one's really fascinating, and I should add a little note here. Notice how the imas here is almost literally imas. That sounds dumb, but let's talk about what I just wrote there. Nishikawa-san wa 45分前から, so from 45 minutes ago, Nishikawa-san お風呂に入ってimas. So it got into the bath and is still there. Having gone into the bath, it is there. Maybe Nishikawa's name of a dog. Nishikawa-san wa 45分前から, so since 45 minutes ago, お風呂に入って, she got into the bath, imas is still there. She exists in the bath, having entered into it. So it almost literally is the normal imas. Where is Nishikawa-san? She is in the bath. So Nishikawa-san wa お風呂にいます. Well, why is she in there? She is in there because she 入りましたit, or she 入るit. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm saying. She is in the bath, having entered it. So this imas is very similar to she is in the bath, he is in the bath, or if you want to say like there's a dog outside, inu ga soto ni imas, that imas is the same imas as here. So notice how sometimes the te imas form is almost literally the te form plus imas. It isn't always just currently doing, as most online resources and some textbooks will just throw at you and expect you to pierce out through these different examples on your own, which is really unfortunate because this should be explained to many native English speakers. This is if you understand that te imas means currently doing, then some of these sentences are really hard to process. Okay, let me make sure that these are fitting inside. Okay, good. You guys can still see it there. All right. Oh, but I can't see it. Maybe I can just slightly go up. All right, there we go. Number 3. Yamada-san no musume-san wa 4時にデパートに行きました。Yamada-san no musume-san wa 4時にデパートに行きました。All right, so Yamada's daughter at 4 o'clock, departo ni, to the department store, ikimashita, she went. So she went to the department store. Notice ikimasu is to go, and it is past tense, so she gone. She done did go. Note ikimashita once again means the action is complete, so the going has finished. Yamada-san's daughter went to the department store at 4 o'clock. Now, I have two example sentences. B was not in the book, so this is me adding value, so don't sue me. Yamada-san no musume-san wa yoji kara, so the ni turned into kara, yoji kara, departo ni ittemasu. All right, so notice how here, if we translate it as how I have been translating, has gone. So Yamada-san's daughter has gone to the department store since 4. Once again, we're dealing with a weird translation, even though this entire video is kind of trying to tell you that this generally can mean has gone. She has gone to the department store since 4 doesn't... Once again, that doesn't sound right in English. So, Yamada-san no musume-san wa yoji kara departo ni ittemasu. She has gone to the department store since 4. So, we have to deal with the fact that this is literally, she is at the department store having gone there. So, just like the one before us, when we were talking about, what was it? Haitemasu, she got into the bath and she is there now. Here, she is at the department store having gone there. So this one very importantly means that she went there and she is there now. So this is very literally itte imasu. And verbs of movement almost always do that. So with that understanding of ittemasu, that she is there having gone, and the going happened at 4 o'clock. So since 4 o'clock, she is there. She has been there. So notice how like, yeah. So since 4 o'clock, she has been there having gone. So let's I'm gonna write that down. That's a good sentence. Yamada's daughter has been. Notice how the has been applies to the imas. Has been at the D store since, there shouldn't be a comma there, since 4. There should be since 4 o'clock. Since 4 o'clock. Okay, so notice how the verb that's important, the one that's being conjugated with the word has, is imas. So she has been at the store since 4, having gone. And then that already gets cut off because I have it so far zoomed in. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see that a little bit better. Okay, is this still in? Yeah, okay, great. Having gone there. Okay, so Yamada-san no musume-san wa yoji kara departo ni ittemasu. So it's almost like she has been at the department store since 4, having gone there. Which in English we kind of would say that's why would we even bother saying itte there? Good question. Japanese people just throw it in there because she went there and is there, right? So that's their idea. Whereas we're like, why bother saying she went there? Sorry, deal with it. Okay, so with that understanding of ittemasu being that she's currently at the store, and we're really heavily focusing on the imas part of it as opposed to the itte, let's look at if we change yoji to ima. Make sure this is still visible, and yeah, okay, good. So Yamada-san no musume-san wa ima departo ni ittemasu. So if we change this to Yamada-san no musume-san wa ima departo ni ittemasu, and we were to keep the original, what we usually see online and in textbooks as currently doing, this would mean that she is currently on her way to the department store, right? So ittemasu, if we were to translate this as currently going, the same way that we say things like currently eating or currently drinking, we would get the wrong translation. We would expect her to be, I don't know, riding her bicycle or in the car, or I don't know, if it's Japan, on the train or walking maybe. But now that we've seen how it's translated in other sentences, we see that this means that she is at the department store having gone there. So these sentences of verbs of movement with the te-imasu form very literally mean they have done the verb, they have gone already, they have arrived already, they have come already, whatever the verb of movement is, and they are there. Now my understanding of Japanese is that this is slightly changing, and in fact some contexts might mean that they're currently on their way to a location, but I would say at the somewhere in the vicinity of like 70%, of these te-imasu forms with verbs of movement do mean that you are already there. So something to remember. You've heard me say it before in the JLPT videos that I made. So just be aware that, I feel like this is kind of the proof that shows what I'm saying is true. Like, in order for us to have the sentence ikimashita have one meaning, and then itemasu, oops, I just totally screwed everything up. In order for us to have itemasu have a slightly different meaning, we see that we have to change what itemasu means, and it means currently there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So notice how this does not mean on her way. All right, so this is, make sure that's all fit. Okay, great. Dan-san wa, once again, it's doing a dumb thing. I don't know why they think futanen is a word. I should have checked all of these. Sorry, let me change that. Microsoft Word, I use you because I can do Hiragana with you. However, good Lord, how about you get it right once in a while? And by once in a while, I mean you're usually pretty good, but it's weird when you get it wrong. Whoops. Yeah, I want NI up there. Yeah, that's what I wanted. All right, click. Ding, ding, ding. Ni nen mai. Let's just do the whole thing the long way. Boom. There we go. Ni nen mai kara. Okay, so. Sorry, I hit the mouse button. Dan-san wa 2年前 Kankoku ni kimashita. So Dan-san came to Korea 2 years previous. Okay, so 2 years ago, Dan came to Korea. All right. That's the mashita ending. Now we're going to change it to te-imasu, and I want to remind everybody this is a verb of movement. So guess what? Dan-san wa 2年前から韓国に来てます. So since 2 years ago, she has been in Korea since 2 years ago, having come there from a different location. So once again, this operates almost exactly like this operates almost exactly like the itemasu, where she came to Korea and she is there now, and the coming happened two years ago. But since we have the kara there, it's like since. So she has been in. So notice if we take kankoku ni and we apply it to the imasu, it's like she has been in Korea since 2 years ago, having come there. I don't know if a native speaker would agree that kankoku is being applied to imasu, but when we analyze it in English, you can see how we could think that way. Whereas I think that the Japanese person will just say kitemasu is kind of like one word, and you have to deal with the fact that that the ni is applying to both of them equally because it's just one word. Even though it's technically not one word, it's technically 2 words, but linguistics, blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to help you with the English translations. I'm not trying to dive into the strict Japanese grammar, what they teach in school, blah, 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 blah. So once again, Dan isn't currently coming to Korea. She's not on the boat or on the plane, or she's not swimming to Korea. She is she is in Korea. She has been there for 2 years. Okay, number 5. And the person who knows which textbook this came from is indeed the person in this sentence. ジョエルさんはおとといキャンプに出かけました. I don't know if he'd like camping. Anyway, ジョエルさんはおとといキャンプに出かけました. So 出かけました is like to head out, to go do something. It's very similar to the idea of demos, but the kake changes a little bit. Anyway, camping. So he has headed out camping. And then it says ototoi, so 2 days ago. So as for Joel, 2 days ago, the day before yesterday, キャンプに出かけました. He headed out camping. Okay, so ジョルさんはおとといからキャンプに出かけています. Once again, he has been camping. He is currently camping since 2 days ago. He has been camping, having headed out. So once again, hopefully this video and these example sentences, which will be available to the $5 or I think it's the $10 subscribers at Subscribe Star and Patreon, will get this in addition to everything else. Hopefully these examples will clarify that this te-imasu form, the Te-Iru form, And even the Te-Ita form, which I do want to talk about a little bit because that came up in an interesting conversation, do not specifically mean currently doing, and depending on the verb, it almost can't mean that. Anyway, this is Evan Rogers coming at you with some exciting grammar. We're going to make this a grammar video. I might sneak it into the JLPT list, but this is a grammar video. I hope it was entertaining, or maybe not entertaining, but hopefully it was productive and you've understood something that you didn't understand before. This is very important. This is one of the, there's the mashita, the mas, and then the teimas form. There's almost no other verb tense-wise, like time-wise in Japanese. So this is an important one. This is one of the 3 times in Japan that you can actually have. So you should know it. You got to know it. You got to get it done. You got to nose it. All right. Peace out. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask in the comment section. Have a good day. Peace out.